And I think, oh my god, Geordi, we started. Okay, you know what? We have started. Congratulations.
Oh god, the stream is playing.
The stream is playing. You're welcome.
Just shut up, stream.
You're welcome, world.
Well, the stream is playing. The stream's starting.
Scuff stream.
There we go.
That's where we're at right now.
That's what?
That's where we're at right now. You're our scuffed stream.
What is that?
Scuffed? Just like messed up or janky. So hello! Welcome to the... I should probably be. It's because I'm here, sorry. No, you're fine. Thank you for being here. I should probably be quiet. I have people in the house sleeping. But hello! Welcome to the stream. This is episode 7.
It's fucking 5:30 for you. What?
My mom... Okay. Shut up. Okay. So... So...
Who the fuck goes to bed at 5:30?
My mom, that's who. Alright? She's
Why?
a very tired woman. Alright? So, 2 things. 1, if you did not catch the VOD from last week, we are posting these streams on my channel, Sink the Dragon. If you want to go over there, check them out just to get, caught up on everything, you can do that. Also, hello, Allie, for being here. I am actually busting this out. It's a Dungeon Master Gelatinous Cube Imperial Stout. I figured it would be appropriate since DM in a game. Get a nice drink of this and be good to go. Kind of have your voice back. Nice. You've been resting up, drinking some tea. I may have caught Geordi at a bad time. What are you busting out, Geordi? Oh, it's just lemonade.
Nothing.
Stranger Things. Yes! I just finished season 3 today. Ooh, it's such a good show. It's really good. I'm not going to say anything specific for anyone who watches the VOD and, cried. Yeah. I got close. I got a little close. Was not expecting it. For people in the VOD, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I did enjoy season 3. I've seen a little bit back and forth. Like, some people are like, oh, I love it. Some people are like, I didn't really like it too much. It's the weakest one. I enjoyed it, but there were some things that could have been better. So, that's my quick review on it.
I have no idea. Never watched it.
That's fine.
Don't really plan on it.
That's fine. I mean, doesn't have to be something... I just happened to, because there was nothing on the day. I just started at the first season, and it was a good show. So, figured I'd watch all the way through.
Started at the first season. 5 hours later, I was almost to the end.
Yeah, pretty much. It's something like you see the finale... Like, you're in the episode, right? Stuff's happening and shit like that. And then you see the final, thing, the final monster or whatever show up, and it's like, wait, is this the last episode? What? What happened? Oh no, definitely. Yeah, that's what I think they do best. They have the emotional intelligence to really tug at our heartstrings when we don't expect it. It's so easy to do that out. It's so easy to do, but it was fun because that's how you know it's a good show. You could just rapid fire go through it and you're not even paying attention to the time. So anyway, we should probably get off track of this. So, welcome to episode 7 of Adventures on the Infinite Sea. I am Matt, the Dungeon Master for this game, and below me is Geordi, who is playing Jocelyn, the half-elf pirate gunslinger, who is currently the captain of her own crew. So
I get nervous every time I read the titles of these episodes.
Oh, you saw
I have no idea what the fuck I have no idea what you're planning, and that scares me.
Good. It means I'm doing my job somewhat well.
I never know what you're planning with your sessions. fucking throw a curveball every time, and it's just like, fuck, I'm not even gonna try to think about what's gonna happen. I also realized that not much happened last session.
No, nothing too significant. More setup for this next little quest that you're on. So, speaking of that, do you want to jump into the recap? Don't worry, it's only one episode, because you're not getting sacrificed an hour of your time to...
You can hear me, right? Everyone can hear me?
Yes, double check that. Can we hear Geordi? Can we hear the music? Is everything good, audio-wise?
I don't want to rant for another half hour and then just nothing.
Sacrifice me. I can't hear you. Are you... Don't even joke. Don't even joke about that. We went through this last week and it was awful.
This is why I'm not doing anything until I know.
Oh, she put a kappa. It's fine. She's joking. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's good.
I have this advantage.
Sacrifice me.
I can just press play on the stream myself.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So, going on the other side. Yeah, we had a little slip up last week where I switched around systems for like pumping in audio, and it completely blotted out Geordi's voice. So he spoke for like half an hour. He spoke for half an hour. Nothing could be heard. Like he was completely talking to the void. So
neither of us thought to check it.
Honestly, no. Until Jack came in, like, hey, what's up? He's like, we can't hear Geordi. And then we lost our collective minds because...
I am upset. Honestly, the zoom-ins edits always get me.
I'm glad I could pull that in. Yep, so, if you'd like to start off the recap.
So, last session, I believe, started off with us fighting fucking disgusting sea hag thing that will creep me out to the day I die. The fight didn't end with us killing it. The fight ended with Gray yeeting it off the... Y'all have the same glasses?
We don't. I think Geordi's is more purple than black. But mine are like pure black on the frames.
I don't know if I can get my camera to show it off or not.
I can see it on here. Yeah, like... Yeah, it's more of like a dark... Oh, Jesus. Not ruined all my shit. Yeah, it's a deeper purple than is black. But yeah, mine are...
I think technically,
straight up,
when I got these...
Straight up like jet black.
When I technically got these were meant for women. They're women-style glasses.
Hashtag scuff scream. Yes.
I didn't...
Pass it around, make it a thing. Because it's true. Anyhow.
Yeah. The Sea Hag was effectively yeeted off the boat by Gray.
Strong boy.
As I did not want to deal with the thing anymore, and it swam away. We continued sailing, trying to get to the islands we were trying to explore. And we encounter a storm of...
Lemonade.
Facts. The storm that was being a douchebag and tried fucking our boat, essentially. We got out of the storm, we got through it, but our good old gnome cartographer, Yeezum, as I'm calling him Yeezy, somehow went overboard. I'm pretty sure he threw himself overboard, the way he was talking about it. And he wanted to die, and I don't understand it. I swam out after him, nearly drowned myself, but he knows waterbending magic, apparently. Got us back on the boat. I'm trying to wrap my head around everything. Manembri gets really pissed off at Easy for nearly getting me killed. Keep sailing for a little bit, we get to the islands. Everybody's tired as hell. Except for me and Yeezy. We go off to start exploring the island a little bit while the crew sits back and makes camp. We find pygmy horses. Yeezy starts chasing pygmy horses. I start chasing Yeezy. He finally gets the details down. We see a lot of fruit on another island. I don't know if we saw the third island. There's 3 islands here. And there was a trap when we were sitting there as we were going to head back to camp to reconvene with the crew and let them know what we found. And then a bunch of bullywogs come out and trank Yeezy and try to trank me. And now I'm at a stalemate with them.
Yep. That is about where we left off last week.
We spent an hour and 15 minutes recapping
It was
5 episodes.
It was a little bit of a shorter session because, yeah, we did it. We did the recap twice. At that point, I wanted to give a good cutoff point. Just be like, okay, let's get a full session next week. So, we begin with you, Jocelyn, standing next to your incapacitated friend Yizam, and you are surrounded by tribal bullywugs carrying handcrafted spears. And the one that appears to be the leader wears a rough hemp, sort of like long shirt with foliage, sticks, and leaves pretty much all over this shirt. And he has asked you to accompany him.
Why?
You are invaders on this island. It is ours. Our home. We need you to answer to our king.
I get that we're invaders, but you could have tried talking to us first before tranking us. Well, him specifically.
This is what is required of us. Will you come willingly? Do not make that sexual. I swear to God, if you make sexual, I'm going to end this stream right now. I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn every. I swear to God.
I feel like you want me to at this point.
No. I said it. I wanted it to get passed, but I figured I didn't know what you're going to do. All right. Will you?
Moving shit in my chat.
Will you go willingly? You and your friend will not be harmed. You must speak with the king.
Yes, I really don't have a choice in the matter, do I?
Right now, you do not. And you see 2 of the bullywogs. They appear to. They appear behind you, and you feel them grab onto your wrist. They grab onto your wrist, and you don't give too much resistance, so they just kind of bring them behind your back, tie it with kind of a cross knot where it wraps the rope around, and then the knot is kind of like over this kind of meshing of the rope. It comes.
Is it necessary?
It is what's required of us.
I feel like I'm getting really annoyed at that saying really fast.
Out of game as possible. So, you are being...
I, honest to God, half expect you to say, it is required of us. And I was about to fucking dropkick something.
Just not the cat. Anything but the cat.
I would have walked outside and found somebody. Probably the fucking electricians that knocked out my power. Dropkick one of them.
Dropkick the spool and just scare the shit out of them. Just that like huge spool with the wiring on it.
They're still out there. They are. They're still out there. Doing whatever. So blinds need to be closed.
The 2 bullywugs that are beside you hold onto your forearms, and the robed, in quotations, robed bullywug moves through the group of speared individuals. They eventually kind of march behind him, and you feel the 2 bullywugs kind of pull against you, getting you to kind of walk along with them.
And as I'm being pushed along to the village, I want to just keep like dragging my foot into the ground just to leave like a trail.
Mm-hmm.
So if the crew finds this area, they can track me.
Big brain.
This
So
is big brain time.
So yes, you're not being like forcefully dragged, but it's more just like follow. Like they're kind of just guiding you as like follow this path, and they're still like, but they hold on to your forearms just to be safe. You are led through the jungle, and you know that the ground beneath you is pretty well solid. Like, if there was a rain here, it was probably like maybe a week ago. It's still that like a little bit malleable dirt, but for the most part it's hardened. As you get closer to the mountain, however, you can feel this like sticky air, like this sticky humid air hitting you. Just looking at a few chins. No problem. Yeah. Thank you for hanging out for however long you do. So you feel this like humid, sticky air kind of hit you, and instantly you start breaking a sweat. Like where they took you into, it doesn't seem like a canopy anymore. It just seems like isolated trees in this thick, mossy marsh. They begin walking through into the water. And you see it gets up to right about their hips. And they still kind of like hold on to your forearms, making sure that you're still following through.
This is gross.
The one looks up at you. It is required of us.
I want to stab you.
Are you entering or are you resisting?
Y'all owe me new clothes. Yes, I'm entering.
Okay. The one robed figure turns around and says, "That is not our responsibility." And he carries on. You enter in, and you can feel that your shoe sinks about 2 inches into the mud under this water. It kind of pours in through the seams of the shoe and just soaks in all of this brown swamp water. Other than that, it doesn't feel too bad. Like, it's actually a pretty cool water. But just the sensation of this mud and gunk getting into your shoe is what kind of like gives you a shiver through your body. But eventually you get acclimated to it and you slowly enter in. Where it would hit their hips, the water, it seems to only hit about your knee. So it just kind of like presses through and you see some moss pieces kind of stick to your pants. But as you trudge through, eventually you get used to it. They continue.
It's a lot, but don't worry, I'll bitch all the way there.
You enter in, and eventually you get over to where the mountain is. You can kind of see that there's like rock platforms that sort of emerge out of the water. And some of the Bullywug warriors. Hey!
I don't have.
I like it. I like that. I am a volunteer. All right. Don't worry, your puns are appreciated. You can see some of the Bullywugs now climb onto the rocks, and they sort of just they take a attention position where they hold on to their spears and have their arms and legs closed. So they kind of just stand at attention with the spears next to them, and they remain motionless. As you
imagine like the British guards.
the one stepping on Legos.
Yeah.
You get deeper in, and you can see more and more of the bullywugs are climbing onto these rock platforms and standing at attention. And eventually, when you hit the incline up the mountain, you can see that this is now a full moss and vine covered like pedestal almost, but it expands around you in sort of a half circle. You can see that through the rock that there's a cave entrance, and it appears that a portion of the stone has been shifted around to look like a makeshift throne. You see the bullywugs kind of just with their staves tap in a rhythm. In sync, they're hitting their staves against the stone. It gets louder and louder and louder. And then you hear like these trill bullywug calls almost. Like nothing that resembles words, but just essentially noises that they're just producing through their gullets. And eventually it stops. Give me 1 second. There's silence. The ringing echoes of the stabs hitting stone dissipate through the woods. And then you can see what looks like about a 5-foot tall bullywug with it looks like he has longer arms, and he has sort of like a more spherical body shape.
Spherical.
He's a fat boy, but the striking thing that you see is that instead of the hemp shirt that the one had, this looks like a fully renowned like white clerical robe to him.
Fucking Discord.
What happened?
So, on my end, I don't know if it caught on the stream. You locked up? I don't think it caught on the stream.
No, it didn't look like it.
You locked up? And then sped up at like 500%.
It did that to me last week with you. Multiple times. I don't know how to fix that.
That's literally the video connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because after it did that, I watched the video connection drop from 3 bars to 1 bar.
Yeah, it would do that periodically, but it wasn't as abrupt. Like, it would be like a second, and then it speeds up, and then you're back to normal. So, I didn't say too much about it, but...
Just like you were explaining, it's like the one thing you noticed. The one thing I noticed? And then, boom!
Like a lightning.
What do I notice? Because I missed it, because Discord is cunt.
So, instead of this janky pieced together long shirt that the one bullywug had, this king bullywug has a legit like cleric robe on. It's white with gold inlays on it. But you see that at the bottom, it's just stained and caked with mud and soppy swamp water.
Ew.
And on top of his head, it looks to be a woven branch crown, but it's actually woven in with different like small rings, gold, silver, copper, adamantine, mixed together like just a conglomerate of jewelry woven like meshed into this crown. And you can see that he also drags behind him what looks like a worn down warhammer. But he doesn't seem to be able to properly use it. He more just carries it around as a sign of his position. Like, I own this because it I own this because I am the king. This is a possession that belongs to royalty. He drags that behind him and he appears in the sunlight. And you see now these boils on his face just like spread out across his face and his arms now. And he looks over towards the one wearing the long shirt and like holds out his hand. Oh, yes, my liege. And he takes out the gem from his larynx. You can see that it kind of tears a little bit of the skin, but it doesn't like profusely bleed. Just kind of pops out.
I feel
It does. Like, and he hands it over. You can see a little bit of like viscera on it, but it doesn't look like too much blood or anything like that. The king pops it, kind of like twisting into his larynx.
It seems like you're sharing gum. That's disgusting.
He says nothing. He just glares at you.
Cool. Another one of you.
It doesn't seem like he has any sort of like malice. Or, he doesn't seem like he has any like grin or like amusement out of this situation. He glares, and you can see that all of the bullywugs around you are still held at attention, but some of them are like shaking a little bit. Kind of at his presence, they're sort of just. Who are you?
My name's Jocelyn. Nice to meet you.
Who is that? And he points over towards Izum. You can see the bullywug that it's still carrying him over because otherwise Izum would be drowning in the water. But so he's like holding him up, kind of like in front of him, where his back's on one arm and then the crooks of his knees are on the other, just holding him up.
His name's Izum.
Why are you here?
Scouting.
For who?
Me.
You understand where you are, right?
No. Hence the scouting part.
He doesn't break. He just glares.
He must be real fun at parties.
You enter my island. You must want something else.
Not really. Didn't know you guys existed till however long ago that was that you guys found me.
Me as DM, I know you're telling the truth, but he shortens his eyes a little bit, kind of scanning your body language to see if you have any tells of lying. He doesn't seem to catch anything, but he just kind of just humps like and starts walking around. He kind of paces back and forth, the warhammer dragging against the stone, and there's just the as it drags against the stone. And you hear this sound, like the birds are kind of calling off in the distance, but this is the only prominent sound that you hear as it rings out. He just drags it across, turning around to you. Would you like to leave?
Be nice.
Then I have one thing for you to do.
And what would that be?
He takes both hands, and you see that it drags behind him, but he takes both hands, lifts up the warhammer, and the mallet end of the warhammer lands pretty much between his feet. Approach me and beg.
The fuck? Why?
You've entered my land. If you want peace with us, beg for your freedom. And he takes both hands, lifts up the hammer again, and rings out again. And he just points in front of him.
I ain't begging for shit.
You can see, like, your voice rings out, and it almost seems like a wave crossing over the bullywugs as they pick up on your response. They kind of just, like, they seem to, like, ribbit and murmur to each other, and they're shaking more. Now more than you've seen them before. You defy me in my place.
It's what's required of me.
Silence. Silent, like its own permeating noise. The silence just cuts through the forest.
I'm glad I was able to use that against him.
So peace is not what you want, then.
Yeah, I'd love peace. I'm just not gonna beg for it.
Who do you work for?
Me, myself, and I.
Now, he steps over to the edge of the platform, and you can see that two of the bullywugs jump down into the water, and next to, like, kind of at the innermost section of this crescent, it feels like the water ripples underneath them, and then they lift up a stone, like a circular-ish tablet. Like, it's a little chipped in portions. It's not perfectly spherical, but it's got that general shape. They lift it up, and you can feel it, like, kind of as its weight kind of picks up on the surface of the water, but it floats there. And they push it over to where the king is standing. He steps onto it, and it dips down a little bit, but carries his weight.
Probably shocked.
You tell bad lies.
Really haven't been lying.
You would like to pass the truth that you came here alone.
You never asked that, and I never said I did.
He doesn't seem irritated. He's just kind of collecting his thoughts. Let me rephrase. Who else are you working with?
Well, in this little endeavor, you got me. You got poor Yeezy here.
He looks over at him, and Yeezy's still, like, fully knocked out. Like, he hasn't shown any signs of waking up yet.
And there's 4 others.
He leans down to you now. Where are they?
Down to me.
He, because where you are in the water, the water's at about your knees, but he's floating at your knee level. So he kind of, like, has to lean down to get to where your head is.
Well, like the rest of us, they're on the island.
Where?
How the hell should I know? We're exploring. We don't know this island. It's not our island.
You landed somewhere. Where?
On the beach? Where else? It's like figuring out where, though, because, there's a lot of beach on an island.
He takes the warhammer again, and same thing where, like, he slams it in front of his feet, and the bullywugs go back to standing at attention. Search the coast. Find them. And you see about half of the bullywugs, they traipse off, swimming through the water with their spears, and they gather into a small party, and they start spreading out across the forest.
I feel bad for any of your men that find my people. I'm not there, so I don't know if they'll be too keen on being captured.
Captured is half of this. When they meet. 1 second. I've got to pull this name up.
Can I try, like, jimmying whatever the fuck's got my hands tied out?
Yeah. So make a sleight of hand check.
I am proficient in sleight. That is amazing. 24.
So here's my question. He's gonna finish his line, but are you planning on keeping it secret? So you do get untied. Like, you find where the pull is on the knot, and you just... But the rope, like, actually wrapping and overlaying is still on your wrists. Are you...
I'm gonna hold it there for a little longer.
Okay. When they meet Babrishki, it is them who will be scared.
I'm sorry, this is not in character, me laughing. I don't know why you said that, and my mind went to Gump, and I just went Bubba Shrimp.
Yeah, that was about the...
I don't know why.
About the reaction I thought I was going to get.
What the hell is... What did you call it?
Babrishki.
There's no fucking way I'm gonna pronounce that right. I wish I could, but there's no goddamn way in hell. I'm just gonna say Drisky. Be easier. Because if I add the Bubba part, I'm going to stumble.
When they meet Babrishki, it is them that will be scared.
What is that?
Why don't we see for ourselves? And he kind of like a footstep on the stone is just like, bring them in. They will see for themselves. And you see the two bullywugs still pushing the king along to the crescent. The two that were standing directly next to you, they hold on to your forearms again, and they're like, and like speaking to you in bullywug, but they're just like, let's go.
Sounds like a fucking Yoshi.
Yeah, that was about what I wanted to make it sound like.
I'm not gonna resist them pushing me along.
As they're doing this, the bullywugs kind of like hold underneath your arms to be like, go up. Then they're like holding onto your arms so you can like pull yourself up onto the platform. Yizum is placed down on the platform, like on his back, and he's stirring a little bit, kind of just like, who was?
Want to wake up faster?
One of the bullywugs slams the shaft of the spear into Yizum's gut.
You're a prick.
He just stares. Not glaring like I hate you, but just stares like I don't know.
Unlike the ball that can barely hold a hammer.
Mm-hmm. And Yizum is like gasping for air now, but he's like fully up and at him now. It's just like, who are these people?
Morning, sleepyhead.
What is this?
Bullywog tribe. They seem pissed. They wanted me to beg for freedom. I said no. Now we're gonna meet some Drisky thing.
We're going to die here.
Nah, it'll be fine. Be a little positive.
You see the king turn back over, and you guys are still conversing. The bullywugs haven't moved you yet. And he's still dragging over the warhammer. It's like, move them! And the bullywugs grab onto your arms, and they're kind of trying to urge you along. Yizum now stands up, and he's like getting his bearings, but the bullywug is like has the spear kind of at his back, and it's just like giving him a slight nudge to go forward.
Kind of under my breath, we should be like, I'm gonna hate having to kill you guys. Oh well.
How do we get out of here?
Well, first we see what this Drisky thing is, or whatever the hell. And then we plan from there.
Roll perception for me.
Goodbye, dice. I hardly knew ye. 16.
As you're being pushed along, you hear this low, like, this like deep vibratic like this call almost from the cave. Like it sounds like a creature of some sort, and it just rumbles out of the opening. we will find your friends.
Oh, I hope you do. 'Cause then they can find me faster. We can get the fuck out of here. Specifically, I hope you find Gray. That'd be great times. Gray or Salenth, both of them. That'd be very helpful here.
Their only help will be as food.
I don't think you know what Gray is.
And as you say this, you can hear from behind through
great.
into the woods. And you can see that the trees are getting like knocked over now. You see one of the bullywugs rushing through back towards where the swamp is, and it's just like, like he's just holding out the spear, and he's like trying to call for the king.
Oh my god. This is exactly what I was talking about. Kind of like forgetting that I was supposed to still be faking, just kind of like start clapping my hand, break free of the knots, and just start clapping. Oh shit.
Oh yeah! As you see the bullywug running through, he's waving his spear around, trying to get the king's attention. But you see what looks like a grass-covered chunk of rock fly through the woods and just like bounces where the bullywug was and travels another good like 20 feet and just eviscerates the corpse of this bullywug. And the king
God.
And the king, hearing the roar from the woods, finally turns around, and busting through the trees is Gray. And you can see that his eyes now radiate a green energy.
What happened to you?
You also see Salenth rush behind, and it looks like he has his axe fully pulled out with a little bit of like greenish red blood staining it. And you see,
Hey, Salenth.
we tried being stealthy. He didn't like that. And he points
I'm
up
glad
towards
you guys
Gray.
did. This is a much better thing. I love this.
He rolls up, and you see Uldric holding out his hand, like preparing his chill touch. You see Evelyn, she has her dagger readied up, and you see Minimri, she has the other pistol on her. And they form up together, and you see the king is just like, your friends. Much easier. Get them! And you see the other bullywugs that are in the area, you see 4 of them around where you and Yizam are, and you see 4 of them kind of rush over towards where the rest of the crew is. Roll initiative.
Woo. 14.
14. And I need you to roll for everyone else.
Jesus.
You said 14?
Yeah. Everyone?
Everyone except for because you don't have Minimri or Evelyn. So
No.
I think you have Uldric, Gray, Salenth, and Yizam.
Of course I lost another d20. Holy fuck. What am I adding?
Give me 1 second. Again, this is all stuff I should have, like, just here. For initiative, they're all going to have a +1.
Okay, so Gray has a 20.
20.
Salenth has a 17. Aldrich has an 11. Oh, goodbye, guys. And Yusum has a 3.
All right.
I should roll my tiny dice for Yusum.
I'm gonna roll for Memory. Say 10. And Evelyn, who has an 8. All right. So first up would be Gray.
What's closest to him?
Closest to him, there's a bullywug 20 feet away.
He's gonna run up and punch the fuck out of it.
All right.
Hopefully. I feel like he's going to. 22.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
This dice. This dice. 12 damage.
Oh, what does he have for damage again? Just for my own memory.
2d8 plus 2.
2d8 plus 2. So Gray runs up, and you see this bullywug like charging up on his king's order. But as he sees Gray with this glowing manifestation in his eyes and his size, the bullywug is like charging up and then slowly like no, and he like backsteps the back away from Gray before a fist just drives down into the ground, eviscerating the bullywug.
Idiot.
Silence. Next to him, there's a bullywug. There's a bullywug also 20 feet away.
Charge it and cleave it.
All right.
Hopefully. So, 15?
Yep, that will hit. Beats time.
14 damage.
The bullywug next to the one that got smashed by Gray looks over, like, readying his spear towards him, and Salem's just charging up, uppercuts the bullywug, and cuts, like, up through the navel and into his, like, up into his jaw. Entrails and viscera and swamp water just pour out of the bullywug's chest cavity, and it lays waste on the ground.
I had a lot more visceral reaction to that than I thought I would. Oh god. That's disgusting. Ugh.
Jocelyn, it's your turn.
My heroes.
There goes my heroes.
Watch him as he goes. So I think I'll take my bonus action
All right.
to moralize Aldrich and Memory. So they get +1 on all their rolls, not including damage.
Aldrich. All right. And that's your bonus action, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you still have one pistol. I don't remember exactly if you grabbed it from an Emery or if she's still...
No, she still has the other one.
Okay.
I've yet to... I don't know if I'll ever take it back. I think I need to get a new one. How many bullywogs are around me in Yizum?
There are 4 right now.
Good lord. Fucking... I got nothing better to do, just fucking shoot it. Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
Hello? There you are. Darn. 8 damage.
So, you fire into one of the bullywogs, and this was the bullywog that was, like, next to you. So you just ripping off your ropes, just like, oh, I forgot I was supposed to do that. Whoosh, like, quick draw the pistol, and bang. And it fires into the bullywog's chest, but it doesn't look like it kills him. It just kind of, like, slams into his, like, meat, and just kind of staggers him for a second. Speaking of which, step a little bit. Oh, are you gonna move? Or are you gonna hold your ground? Oh, sorry.
For now, I'm gonna hold my ground because there's still, what, 2 enemies next to me?
Yes.
Directly.
Yes.
I'll stay still.
Excuse me. All right.
I don't want to invoke more attacks than necessary.
So speaking of, it is that bullywog's turn. In response to you blasting him with the pistol, he lets out his bullywog war cry. Ah! And he attempts to charge at you with the spear. Yeah. That's definitely not gonna hit. I think it's a 5.
Even with just, like, even in the nude, that wouldn't hit.
And then he attempts to bite you. Ah! 6.
That gunshot really hurt.
It did. Like, you can see that he's staggered from it, where it's like he's now feeling the pain of it, and his attacks just don't feel as effective with the blood starting to drip out of his wound. Next up is one of the ones with the crew. That one is going to move up, and it looks like he's actually going to try and take out Aldrich.
Leave my boy alone.
It's a 19.
Jesus Christ, his AC's a little dick.
He's a
yes,
caster.
that hits.
So, what I'm going to have you do... So, the retainers don't track hit points. They track health levels. So...
What the fuck's that mean for me?
So, since they are level 2, they have 2 health levels. Each time a retainer is hit by an attack, you make a Constitution saving throw.
Wow.
What was it?
I rolled a 3. I don't even know what I had.
It should be +3 for...
6.
That makes it.
What?
That makes it. I'm not even... That is not even me, like, going easy on him. That's literally... He makes it.
What the fuck's the save?
The save is the average attack of the creature that attacked them. Or, I'm sorry, the average damage of the creature that attacked them.
Fucking, that thing's average damage is shit.
They're bullywugs. They don't have much power behind them. So he makes it. So even though the attack hit, we call it as like it would hit, but not do enough damage to like, not enough damage to slow them down. So he gets.
This is confusing.
So he gets slashed with the spear, but it just goes across Aldrich's arm, and it's just slashing. It's not like a clean pierce. So it's for the most part, he can dodge out of the way of it. I'm just going off this system here. All right, that's what I'm working with.
A weird system.
This one's going to attack Yzum, and that would hit. Roll Constitution.
So add the +3.
Yes.
15.
That'll make it. And one with the bite. That won't hit. So. Aldrich.
How the I don't even spell pulled up.
I believe he has access to Chill Touch.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it does. Blah blah blah. What do I add for his spell attack?
Spell attack. So, Chill Touch is a attack roll, right?
Yes.
They get a +6 to hit.
Okay. 13.
That will hit. Roll damage.
Don't add anything to this. That is a whopping 2. Unless this bullywog is magically undead. No, it would still only be 2 damage. He just ends up having this.
So, as this bullywug has charged towards Aldrich, he summons up his spectral hand and passes it through the bullywug, and the bullywug kind of like is repelled for a second as the necrotic magic pours through his body, but it doesn't seem to have much of an effect.
For every other bullywug.
Minimary.
Nope, that's her.
She also gets a +6 to hit. All of the retainers get +6 to hit.
I don't have a thing for that. That's what I was asking. $17?
Yes, that's going to hit. Roll damage. So
I don't.
in front of... So there's one in front of Aldrich. Minimary is next to Aldrich. And then there's one heading towards Evelyn.
She's gonna shoot the one by Aldrich.
Alright.
Question: does she get the same plus as I do with the pistol?
Her dexterity is +3.
Dex is +3.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, then 13.
Oh, shit. So, in the heat of battle, Minimary focuses her aim on the bullywug, and with the necrotic energy passing through, the bullywug looks over towards Minimary. She fires right between the eyes, and he drops down dead.
You go, girl.
Let's see. Bullywug 3 is going to try and stab at Yzum. Make a Constitution save.
10.
Yeah, that makes it. And a bite. Constitution save.
12.
That makes it.
You basically
5.
and feel like an idiot every time I sit there and stare at it like, what?
Ooh, shoot. Okay. So Evelyn got hit with a nat 20. So
What does that mean?
she makes her, well, this is not a roll that's with the retainers, it's a roll that I'm adding. She makes the Constitution roll at disadvantage.
Uh-huh.
It will deal the same level of damage, but that's the bonus for getting a nat 20 with a retainer. So 10. 5. Yeah, that'll still make it. So it looks like the spear is going to drive straight into her throat, but as it passes over, same thing as Aldrich, it just kind of passes over into her shoulder and cuts a gash into it. But she's able to kind of like get just enough space where it's not a lethal blow. Speaking of which, oof. As this bullywog attempted to slaughter Evelyn, she takes 2 steps forward and, quick as a ninja almost, like stabs into the bullywog's arm and passes it through and cuts off the bullywog's arm with the dagger.
Jesus fucking Christ! I'll keep super soldiers in the matter of an hour.
This one is going to attack at you, Jocelyn. Nope. Going for a bite. That's a big yikes.
What happened to the bullywogs that tried hitting me? What the fuck?
The one that tried hitting you, same thing. He like tries and jabs at you with the spear, but you like hit it out of the way. And in that like maneuver, he goes to bite you down, but you just kind of hold his head, like a 3rd grader trying to get past an 8th grader, just like nah, like.
You guys are just a mild nuisance.
Yeezum.
Well, it looks like he's gonna beat something with a fucking hammer. According to this fucking card.
So, roll for him, see if he hits. There are two next to them. Just to keep that in mind.
Shit, one of them gets hit. Maybe. Huge, maybe. 9. Oof.
Oh, that way 9 total?
Yeah.
Just
I rolled
misses.
a 3.
Just misses. So, you see Yeezum as these bullywugs are trying to like pierce through him with the spear. He gathers up the courage and he's like, I'm gonna fight back, guys. So you see his hand, like you see one hand close to his chest and the other hand reaching out towards the water. You see the water rise up in sort of this angular stream and it flattens out to look similar to a blade. He rushes his hand forward and the water, almost faster than light, just whoosh, like not actually faster than light, not scientifically, but it appears to. It's pretty fast.
It's a blue blur.
In a blur, the water zips past one of them, and it looks like it was gonna try and move at a fast enough speed where the water just slices through like a regular blade. But the water passes by one of the bullywugs. He almost like brings his spear up to try and like push the water away, and it's just loses its form and splashes against the stone behind him. And the 2 bullywugs look over at him and is just like, well, it was a good effort. And he brings up 2 more blades of water, trying to like prepare himself. Gray.
So is the one by Evelyn like the last one alive over there by them?
Yes. He's the last one. And he does not look very good with a missing arm.
And he's gonna charge at the King Bullywog.
Alright.
$18.
That's gonna hit. Gray's strength is a +4. He's dead. So you rush over towards the bullywug, and with the fear in its eyes, Gray just swings like an uppercut, and it sends the bullywug flying past Evelyn into a tree and just crunches the bones against the trunk. You see the body almost like fold in half as it impacts the tree. And then it just crumples in a broken, bloody bag of flesh and bone.
Well, on the plus side, he won't be feeling anything in the morning. Literally.
Well, he won't be feeling anything at all because he is dead and he does not have the ability to feel anymore.
Thank you, Mr. Killjoy.
You're very welcome.
Do the other Bullywugs do anything now that their king is dead?
Oh, their king's not dead. He's still like.
Do they do anything now that he's been fucking fucked?
Well, okay, so the one that you knocked, or the one that Gray just knocked out, was one of the guys, or he was the guy with the long shirt, with like the twigs on it and stuff like that. The actual king is standing in front of you guys still, and he's waiting for like. You could tell that like the one in the robe it seemed to be like either a first hand of the king or like or like someone trying to resemble the king, like trying to pull off a regal appearance. But the king is like, he has like the king in the white robe. He's standing on the platform where you guys are right now, and he's waiting for an opportunity to like pull up the warhammer and start swinging on you guys. Salem.
He's gonna charge over and help ease him.
Do it, boy. So yeah, that works.
Got to go ahead to do the attack.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You said and so, and I was like, there's a caveat here.
Sorry, I was just double checking the distance, but you're good.
15.
15. That will hit. Roll damage.
Darn. 5.
So, as Salem brushes up, he had to cover distance through the water and like climb up onto the platform. The Bullywugs had enough time to kind of prepare themselves, and he swipes through, and he just kind of like cuts into one of the Bullywugs' legs. Doesn't look like a lethal blow, but he does dig the axe into their flesh. Sorry, how much damage was it?
5.
5. Good.
It's like, I've already forgotten everything.
The king is going to run up on Salenth and try and knock his block off. That will hit. Have him roll a Constitution. Is it a primary ability?
No, but it's a save.
It's probably one of the biggest things that confuses me is the...
I don't know what the difference is between primary and save.
So, since it's not primary ability, he'll get a +3 to it.
Cut out what?
Since it's not a primary ability, he'll get a +3 to it. That's just how the book describes it, but...
Then what the fuck's the point of the save section? What does the saves mean?
You know, beats me.
You have to make a specific saves. Well, it's under my saves, and it doesn't mean anything. Why the fuck's it there? 8.
I'll pass. So, you can see the bullywug, like, the bullywug's trying to, like, get up all of his muster up all of his strength to lift it up towards Salenth's head. He gets it up there, and it smacks Salenth in the chin. But you see that as the bullywug, like, drops the warhammer on the other side, Salenth just kind of looks over at him. That was a bad call. And he just faces over towards the king.
You're so dead.
You, like, seeing Salenth take the hit, like, you saw a wound, like, what would be a bruise on like, a human or an elf, but it doesn't look like it phased him or drew any blood. It just kind of hit and bounced off. Jocelyn.
Meet Salem, one of the two people I wanted you to meet because I thought you guys would get along so well. I'm gonna fire into the same bullywug and try to kill it.
Alright.
20, non-net.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Eight.
This is the one that you shot in the chest, right?
Yep.
Yep, he gets a good old taste of your lead pellet as it pierces through his skull. And he drops down and almost rolls off into the water where his body just kind of floats there. Just rippling through the swamp water.
Bitch.
Would you like to move at all?
No. I'm good here.
All right. Let's see. One of the ones attacking Izum. Well, actually, no. Since the king is being threatened, you see the two bullywugs like back up, and you see them back up, and they're on either side of the king, like spears out towards Salem, trying to protect him. The king. So he's gonna stab at Salem. Sucks. He's gonna try and bite him. That sucks too.
Good lord!
Aldrich, it's your turn.
I need to get closer to chill touch one of those bullywugs.
I believe chill touch is 60 feet.
Range 120.
Oh, then yeah, no, you can
Cool.
Over there.
I mean, he'll get closer, but
just not a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who is he attacking? Because there are 3 bullywug guards and the king left.
One of the guards.
One of the guards.
Maybe. 11?
Yes, that'll hit.
Ba-dum. Woo! 3 damage.
Nice.
I mean, useless, but he also can't regain hit points. Another caveat of that thing.
The spectral hand passes over into the bullywug, and you can see that same sort of like shudder on the bullywug's body as this ethereal hand. It almost seems to grab onto the bullywug's life force and just claw through it. Menemery.
Fire at the other guard.
All right.
14.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
5. Just plus 3 dex, right?
Yes.
5.
This time she gets a solid shot off on one of the guard's knees, but it doesn't drop him right away. It just kind of turns his attention over towards you other people in the distance. This one's also going to strike at Salenth. Salenth gets an attack of opportunity. So nat 20.
So close.
Oh,
I rolled a 19.
no.
So that's a 25 total. If he was level 5, it would be a crit. Well, no, actually, technically, it would be I attack 3 times.
Yeah.
Which for him is very unnecessary, but I do it.
Roll damage.
12.
Yeah. Bullywug tries rushing in and stabbing into Salen's spear, but Salen's just boom.
Into my axe.
Knocks it out of the way, and almost in one fell swoop, like cuts through the spear and then slashes the bullywug's throat. And the bullywug collapses down with blood gushing out onto the stone, just like it's trying to breathe but just loses all of its blood to the wound. Evelyn.
I don't have
What the hell, man?
I don't know. I'm here.
Oh, that's right. She has a dagger, but she can't get up there in her movement. She can dash, so she's going to dash because she wants to be with the group. She likes feeling included. The one that is facing towards Aldrich and Menemery. He's going to throw his spear at Menemery.
Listen, you.
Menemery gets an opportunity of attack.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'm not. This is the roll.
She's not hitting him.
What'd you get?
Got a 9 total.
Aw. So the spear comes flying.
That's fine.
She almost predicts it as she steps out of the way. Like, almost pretty much dead center on her, but she just, no problem out of the way and takes a shot just a little bit over the head. Use him.
Try to hit the guard again.
All right.
he's hit the fucking guard this time. 19.
Yes, roll damage.
Oh, bye. Different dice. That one's gone. Ten.
So this time, he sees Salem standing there. He knows that he's protected. He's not as shaky anymore with his attack. And focusing in on the one guard, lashes out the blade of water and sends it clean through the bullywug's body. As it exits out the other side, it deforms out of its blade shape and just splashes against the water. And you just see a hole dripping out with viscera in the middle of the bullywug's chest. And he, face down, plants into the stone.
There are no bullywug guards left, are there?
There is one. The one that threw the spear, and the king. And it's Gray's turn.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? That one that threw the spear?
Fuck him.
He's about to get punted.
He's in a face full of dead. Are you actually punting him?
Kick the baby!
No, don't kick the baby!
What would I add the same thing?
The +6.
As his, yeah.
Yeah.
24. Kick the baby!
So, it doesn't, like, with his familiarity with stone, it almost seems like he passes through the stone getting up. It's like steps to him instead of, like, climbing, just stepping up onto the platform. And the bullywug, with no weapon in his hand, just, like, lays down his hands onto the ground and kneels. And it's just, like, speaking to him in bullywug. Grace says something in Terran, and just punts the living shit out of this bullywug.
I just imagine he says kick the baby in Terran.
And you actually see the bullywug go deeper into the cave with this punt. Like, he bounces off the wall and bounces a second time off the wall and then disappears around the corner that this cavern is creating. Like the passageway. And then you don't
falls his way.
You don't see the body land, but you just saw it fly into the cave and bounce a couple times. And Gray just stands there with a little bit of bullywug blood on his foot. Ew. Gross. Go shower. Fucking hugs.
I can't say much. I was knee deep in muck.
You slab of concrete, go shower. The only thing left standing is the king. And he stands there holding up the warhammer as you all are standing in front of him.
So meet my friends. You still want to do this?
You will meet him. And he starts, like, stepping away, like, backing up. You will meet him. And regret this. And pretty much he rushes into the cave, like a full sprint. But with the weight of the warhammer, kind of slows him down. So he drops the warhammer and just sprints into the cavern.
Thanks for the rescue, guys.
It is no problem. We saw that you were not back for a short bit. I figured that you were thorough enough to at least come back in a proper time.
I wanted to. Have a little bit.
Yeah, and then he wanted to go looking for you. And Evelyn points over at Gray. It's just like, lost. Wanted to find. Well, he thought you were lost. I mean, you weren't technically lost, but they were captured. Yes, but it's not necessarily like they knew where they were, but it wasn't exactly a free will sort of thing.
Kinda. The cartographer was knocked the fuck out, back towards the beach.
Does he need attention?
Easy, you good?
No, I am fine. Not wounded, just a little shaken. That is good. And Yeezy kind of steps over towards Aldrich. He's kind of checking him over. Salenth and Evelyn walk up to you. What would our next step be, Captain? Did you find what you are looking for?
Well, mine is scouting this place. There's a lot of food on another island. But now I'm concerned. Because he owns something big.
Is it something we should investigate?
I'm assuming so. It's gonna be a problem sooner or later. Especially if we decide to claim this island.
Is that your plan?
It wasn't initially, but he kind of pissed me off. So now I want it.
She just chuckles at that. Not saying it's a bad idea. I was just curious. What would you like to prioritize then?
Food, I'm starving.
Then we shall send half the party to the camp and have to gather these fruits that you speak of.
Cool.
You can see that the rest of the group is kind of like gathered. They're in like their own mini huddle, trying to figure out who goes where. And eventually they decide that Gray, Aldrich, and Yizum are going to accompany you to get fruit, while the rest of them head back and get the rest of camp taken care of. So, this island of fruit. Which way was it heading? I believe it was where the horses were. They were this way. And Yizum takes out a empty piece of parchment, and it looks like he's kind of like... He's got a rough outline of these first two islands, and he's like... Now that he's not chasing after the horses, he's like actually getting a more... he's getting a rough sketch of the actual island itself, instead of like documenting the details.
I'm shocked you know where we are at all, seeing as you were knocked out for half the travel here.
Well, that is my nature. A sense of direction and... Wait, I got turned around. Yes! Oh, this way. Yes. And he continues on.
God damn your stupid jokes.
I have to. It's my nature. It is required of me. So, you continue on.
On my end, the quality of Discord is at like 1.4p right now.
Ooh.
You are nothing but pixels.
Oh. Sad times.
I don't know why. I really don't. Like, my Xbox is not using the internet, technically. That's that. Everything's wired. Whatever.
Sorry.
Anyway.
So, you, Yizum, Gray, and Aldrich are traveling over to where Yizum remembers the pygmy horses last. And eventually you guys get over to the same clearing, and they also are kind of like strucken by the... They're strucken by the features of this little intersection where like they get... Now they see the full extent of the mountains, they see this illuminating sunlight radiating off of the river, kind of illuminating everything. And you also see on the other side, you see the fruits. And Gray starts he doesn't say anything, just starts walking over. And as he steps into the river, you see that his body like sinks halfway. Like he drops down and just and splashes a bunch of water over onto the grass. When he stops moving, he continues forward and just completely disappears.
Where the fuck did he go?
Shoot. It's too deep. The water's too deep. I'm not too sure how we're supposed to retrieve him. And you can hear the, like small rumblings from your side. And eventually you see his hand, like splash out of the water and grab onto the coastline. And he drags himself back up. It's just like... too much. And he pulls himself back up until eventually he's standing up on his feet again.
On our side?
Yes. So we can't travel by foot. But we don't have our boat. Are we supposed to swim? It sounds like the best option. But...
You act like you've never gone swimming before.
No, I'm just saying more for getting fruit back across.
You know, we play catch with Gray and hope he doesn't squish half of them. Because there's no way he's making it across.
You hear Yizem kind of chuckle a little bit. Ah, yes! Because he's so large. Are we sure he's the best one to be keeping track of that?
You want to stay over here as well?
I think that would be best.
Alright, you can stay over here as well.
Ah, yes, I can have a chat with our large friend here. And Gray just kind of kneels down next to the gnome and just, like, pokes at him again. Trying to, like...
As for me, I'd be happy to get in the water. Traveling through that marshland sucked.
Yeah, you're not smelling too hot there, Captain.
Thanks, I know.
Well, I mean, it's not an... Some people find it very appealing.
Well, I don't, so... And I kind of just, like, dive into where I saw Gray just disappear.
Roll a athletics check to cross the river. I'm going to do the same with the other two.
Listen, Steam, I need you to leave me alone. I'm busy.
Fuck off.
Athletics?
Yes.
Oh, why athletics, man? Why can't it be active?
Because you're not doing a double somersault cartwheel extravaganza over the river. You're swimming through the river.
What if I am?
Do you want to? I'll let you. At disadvantage.
I more or less just want to... I'm probably going to sit in the water longer than I do than to cross it.
Oh, gotcha. So you're just diving in. You're just taking a soak. Like, you're just cleaning
Yes,
it off.
I'm enjoying the clean water that is not marsh.
So you dive in, and you can see that the others are, like, contemplating whether to jump into the water. But they see you just, like, pop up back over the surface. And you're just kind of laying there, just letting the coast take, like, letting the slow waves of the river take you. And you feel the heat coming from the sun, but it's a comfortable heat where, like, it lays on you and you can feel just your entire body warm up almost.
This is the life.
And you just travel down the river. You see Gray walking next to you, like, cause you're sitting there, like, you're not trying to fight through it, so it just carries you like half a mile now down the river, and he's following you, just making sure you're not, like, drowning or anything like that. Should we pull you
After
back
a
out,
bit.
Captain?
For a good bit of time, I'll swim to the other side.
Getting over.
After I feel clean.
You feel clean. The stench is going to be a little tougher to get out, but as far as the grime and the moss, all that is cleaned off relatively well. You're just kind of soaked in your clothes now.
It's better than marsh.
And now the mingling of scents, the aromas from the fruit are now hitting your nose as you're crossed over. And you can see those, like, you see the mangoes and the bananas and the pineapples and all that stuff. You just see them all, like, they're all just mixed together. Like, they're on individual plants, but it's strange to see this array of fruits in the same type of region. Like, you see oranges, you see papayas, like, you can see different types of berries, like, it's all over the place, like.
I don't even know where to begin. It's a lot of fruit.
It is a lot of fruit. That's up to you.
I don't know. I'm just gonna take a mango and just start eating it.
You take a mango and you crunch into it, and it is the perfect level of ripe. Like, you crunch down on it, and it's got solid flesh, but the juice just cascades out of it, and this sweet sugary juice just refreshes you with a feeling that you haven't felt in a short while. It's just been a lot of stress and worry being on the crew and in this new pirate life, but this level of almost it feels like a vacation right now. Like, the warmth of it, the temperature, just taking a swim, eating this fruit, like, you feel at peace almost. Like,
Kind of turning to the rest of the guys. So, is it just me, or does this all just seem way too unreal?
well, this is not our normal place to stop by and explore. I mean, I could stay here for a little bit, but having the bullywugs around is not what I exactly would call a retreat.
Something we need to take care of.
What are you thinking, Captain?
I don't know. Let's just gather as much fruit, head back to camp.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come up with a plan to deal with these stupid frogs.
Shit. Should have gotten boxes. Shit. Hey, Gray, come over. And Gray just, can you head back to camp? Sorry. And she speaks to him in Terran. Like, she's common is more comfortable for her, so, like, talking to everybody else who's in common just slips into it. But she speaks in Terran, and Gray charges off through the woods. He's gonna go get some boxes. Why don't you work on gathering some stuff up, and we'll come over help you out.
Okay. Probably as I'm gathering fruit, I'm just gonna be munching on randomly.
Let's see. So, gathering fruits. So, what are some things that stick out to you, like, right away that you want to grab?
Well, mango, since it was the first one. Fucking 8. How many are you holding to me?
What's up?
How many are you restricting me to here?
I'm not restricting you to anything. I'm just curious what you would want to go for first. That's just going to dictate what you roll. So if you're going for mangoes, I would say roll an athletics check to get up the tree.
You and your goddamn athletics.
Hey, that's me, man. Sorry.
Fucking 21. 22.
It's like, you feel really refreshed. So it's not even an effort for you to get up there. Like, just your natural athleticism takes you over. And you climb it like a fucking champ. You get up to these mangoes. And you just like... You grab onto the branches and you can see that they're kind of bushed together like 3 or 4 at a time. And you just drop down these collections of mangoes throughout the tree. Jumping on down. You take another mango and just bite into it. Same as the last one. Perfect ripeness, sweet taste. Beautiful. You grab some berries that are kind of laying in there. You could tell they're probably like blueberries and stuff like that. There's nothing really too distinct. Roll nature for me real quick.
12.
As you're exploring through these bushes, you see some blueberries, you see gooseberries. They're not really good on their own, but they're sort of like they're like a neutral vessel, like a vehicle for other like fruits or other foods and drinks and stuff like that. But as you're exploring around, you see these like red and white berries on one of the bushes. And it doesn't look like anything that you've seen before. But with this type of purity to them, you can almost imagine that these are something that the elves would grow in their own cities. Not too sure what they're called or how they taste, but you know that they're going to be good because the elves have cultivated them to be like perfect specimens.
Before you just gave me some poison.
Roll a new character. You're done.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'll pass. I'll just die. Give me some pineapple.
You want some pineapple? You want some
Give me
fucking...
some fucking...
You want some freaking pineapple? Roll another athletics check.
I want to stab you. I will come down to Georgia and I will stab you.
Hey man, I'll be happy for you visiting.
Soon it'll be easier to visit. Why? Why am I rolling athletics for pineapples?
Do they don't do they grow
All
on
these
trees?
things? Nope.
On the ground. Well,
Yep.
darn. Yeah, so you pick some pineapples. No problem. Roll an
See, I
athletics.
gotta respect Jack. I gotta get some pineapple.
Roll an athletics to pull the pineapples off. They are resisting your grab. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Why?
I'm kidding.
Play a tug of war with the fucking dirt.
You fight an awakened pineapple bush. Roll initiative.
Excuse me?
So, you get a good healthy hearting of pineapples, and it doesn't feel like you have a suspicion that something is like it's too perfect. Like all these fruits, they look like perfectly ripe fruits.
Yeah.
You get this ding ding red flag in the back of your mind, like something's not right here. But
it's been there. But I have no jurisdiction to fucking be suspicious.
But again, you don't really have any stress right now. Like, you're just kind of relaxed. So you're just happy that you can find some good food around here.
That's why I took one and ate it right away, just because I was like, I don't know if this is real shit or not. And it's like, oh, it's real. Don't seem real.
Eventually, you're picking through pineapples, mangoes. You've got these. Did you pick up the red and white berries?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got a collection of berries. You can pick through some bananas, and there actually are a couple of apple trees here.
I'd say I pick some apples, but I don't want to roll a fucking athletics check.
You're just gonna pass it. You're gonna pass the apples.
See, if Sinkar was here, it'd happen.
Out of respect for him, but so
give the man some apples.
You pass through. You see strawberries and starfruit, and just eventually you're picking up and collecting all these piles of fruits on the coast. And as you're getting up to the coast, onto the edge of the river, you see the ship pass down the river with Gray standing on it, and the rest of the crew is there.
That works too.
It might help to have the rest of the supplies here. And Salem pulls over the boat and takes this probably like a 3-foot wooden stake with a rope knotted around the butt end of it, and stabs that into the ground, and does that with both sides, so the boat just kind of sways, like it gets pushed with the waves passing to the middle of the island, but it's stationary. You guys get some empty crates, kind of like put the other stuff that was in there into like a little pile, and you're packing on fruit onto this ship. After maybe about 20 minutes, with everybody's help, half of the storage on the ship is now consisting entirely of fruit.
Beautiful.
It's as he's biting down on a passion fruit. It's delicious. And Salem is just reveling in this right now.
Unreal is what it is.
Where to next?
Well, we have an idea of what these islands are. At this point, I'd say we go back to Ivy, let her know it's here, because I feel like we're going to need a bigger crew to deal with whatever else these bullywogs have. We want to take any chances.
Yeah, that sounds safe. All right, let's head out.
Freaking
steaks.
Got enough food to last us this travel.
You can see Gray is like he's the only one that stayed over on the other side of the river, and you can see that as everyone's packing up, he's just like, he's got his head down, he's grumbling. Evelyn's just like, I know, I'm sorry you can't have any of this, but it's okay. Like, we can find something else for you to enjoy. It's just like, okay. Now he's just more so like waiting for everything to get packed up onto the ship. Roll perception.
I feel like if we ever visit my hometown, he'll love it. I don't see or hear anything. What? Who are you?
What'd you
I got a 9 total.
So, the ship is just about to be finished packing up. And as everyone's jumping on, Gray... You see Gray turn around. And the king steps out from the tree line. Ah! The king steps out from the tree line. Warhammer now resting on his shoulder as he holds it up with both hands.
I guess we're dealing with the issue now.
I told you. You would regret that. And now, as you're focused in on where the king is standing from, trees knocking over, crackling and slamming to the ground, and you see this shadow manifesting from the shadows of the trees. And as the figure presses through the tree line and pushes away, you can see this huge, what looks like a frog. It's a huge green frog with these wide three-toed feet. And I should have had this out. Apologies, guys. I should have had this ready to go, but I didn't because I am bad. There you are, you slimy bitch.
Oh no.
You can see that this huge creature stands before you with a wide, sharp-toothed jaw, with a wide, sharp-toothed maw, 4 tentacles kind of writhing and wrapping around itself as it stands there, and a nodule on the top of its head with 3 yellow eyes peering down towards you all.
Grand.
You can see that it actually stands just under the tree line, and the trees are 20 feet tall. My lord, feed. And the king steps away as this huge frog monstrosity charges towards the boat. Retreat?
What do you think our chances of killing this thing?
I would say very low.
Yeah, retreat sounds nice.
On the ship! We're going now! And you see Salenth like rush over to the last stake, and he pulls it up. Like there's still dirt clumped around it, but he pulls it up so fast that it just tears through the ground, and he chucks it onto the ship and jumps on. Gray, we need to leave! And you see Gray just stand facing this creature, and it looks like he's holding his hands out to try and summon something. But you can see that the energy around his eyes is like transferring over down to his hands, but nothing moves. And you see the frog creature wrap one of the tentacles around Gray. He tries beating on it with his fist, but it lifts him up off of the ground.
I'm gonna fire at the fucking thing.
Alright, roll to hit.
22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
12.
You fire. Bang! The round rips through the air and tears into one of the other tentacles, and you see the wound open up and blood splash out. But it doesn't seem to change its grasp on Gray. And it like has one eye peering towards the ship and one eye directed at Gray, like holding it up, bringing it closer and closer to its maw.
Son of a bitch, let him go.
The king just laughing. Stone or not, he will be destroyed. And you see that Gray is like, he's like pressed around looking at the ship as Saillant is opening up the sail and like getting the ship to press against the waves. He looks like Gray looks over towards you, and that glow seems to almost dim away as he stares at you.
I'm gonna call over to Minimri and tell her to shoot into its eye.
Yeah.
Hey.
She reaches up, and her hand is shaking a little bit, but she's trying her best to like get a good shot on him. Let him go! And she fires a shot out. It rings through, and it impacts one of the eyes. And it steps back a second, but it's drawing the tentacle with Granite closer to him, but as it's stepping back, Gray is still looking at you guys, and you can see for the first time a strong face of not anger, but determination.
Staring into the maw of this monster fills you with determination.
And as he sees his friends fighting back against the creature, he brings his hand out one more time. You can see the green energy coalescing onto his hand, and it seems like he shakes a little bit with the fortitude that he's trying to exhibit. And with one mighty heave, the earth erupts into this sharpened pillar out of the ground and shanks into the frog creature. It pierces through and digs up all the way through into the midsection. And you see the creature call out in pain as it finally loosens its grip on Gray. You see Minimri is like turning around with the she's messing with the gun trying to get it reloaded, and she brings up her hand looking for another shot.
Can I take another shot into its eye, one of its other eye things?
Yeah. Roll with a -2.
Okay. 15?
That'll hit. Barely.
Yeah, 15 damage. Just launched my fucking D20 into space.
With a more steady hand, like Minimri is still shaking, trying to get her aim, and just you bring it up with no effort, getting a quick glance through to the sight. Bang! You fire into its farthest eye, and this one now leaks out with this. It's almost like a thin fluid, like the white of his eye kind of leaking down its eye stalk. It fully releases Gray. He drops down onto the ground, and you can see that now everything around him just glows with this green and black aura. And as he steps down onto the ground, not today. He brings up his fist like he's doing an uppercut, but you see another blunt pillar just erupt from the ground above the, like, in front of the creature and slam into its gut. And it reels back for a second. And Gray now charges down the edge of the river, trying to get back up onto the boat. Now you've reached the point where the waves have kind of, like, mellowed out, and you've gotten to a calm area where, like, the water of the river's meeting the ocean, and the sails pick up. It starts gaining more speed. Woo-hoo. Gray running over, and he notices that you guys are just about to reach the ocean. The frog creature is now charging through the trees, trying to, like, push around, getting to Gray. And you see Gray, with a running start, just leap over the river, and it looks like he's about to slam down into the ship. Roll Constitution saving throw.
Fucking grab onto something. Big man incoming. 16.
Ooh. Oh, God. Memory got a nat 20.
Memory's good at listening to orders.
Evelyn got a 19. So...
Girl power.
Can you roll for Salenth, Yzum, and Aldrich, please?
This is gonna be the shittiest rolls of all time. I went from 3d20s to fucking 2. What happened? I see. It's on the fucking floor.
Oh, jeez.
18 for Aldrich.
Aldrich? Alright. What is it?
It's +3 for all of them, right?
Yes.
22 for Salenth.
Ooh.
And 8 for fucking Yeezy. That's why I was like, this is gonna be dumb.
Let's see what I can do here. I can sing to the heavens.
Give me a second, I really have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, no problem. I can roll my stuff anyhow. What's up, guys? How's it going? Well, Allie, if you're still here, I hope you're enjoying this so far. Oh, again, I don't know how much you're catching between your other channels, but if you're still here checking us out, thank you for sticking around. And, yeah. I finished my beer. Sad times. It's a while, Geordi.
Don't you wow Geordi me. I have my headset on, I can hear you talking. I want to make sure I hear you to your chat. I'm ready for it.
Oh, no. Alright, so.
If need be, can Salenth try to roll to save Yeezy since he got like a...
Yeah, sure. Have him roll a dexterity saving throw as well.
19.
Ayo.
My dice are being nice today. Meaning,
Thankfully. They're gonna
tomorrow
suck.
is not gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a, it's gonna be a bad old time.
Get ready to hear a lot of ones for me. And potentially just me leaving. With my head held down.
So, as Gray is crashing down into the ship presses down past the level of the water for a second and retains some water. And it pops back. As it pops back up, the force of it lifts up Yizum into the air, like almost up and off the boat, but sailing with two hands, they would just like grab onto Yizum's legs and just nope, and just hold him down on the ship.
Nope. Oh god, that's great.
As Gray was jumping off to get onto the ship, you see the creature lashing out with his tentacles and just miss. The ship slowly rides out back into open waters, and you see it still, like, you see the creature still charging through, and now in the full light, you can see in this open space and in the light just how massive and menacing this thing would seem up close. It lets out another sort of like garbled roar out towards you guys, and the king swiftly follows over. It's like, death to you all! To you all! And he's just calling out towards you guys as the wind picks up the sail again and presses you back out.
I'll miss you.
You see the king just as you guys are about to leave the view of the island. You can see the king just like bashing something against the sand of the coast, and the creature with slow lumbering steps retreats back into the jungle.
Well, now we know what the fuck we're up against.
You see Minimori is shaking a bit. Yizum is like thinking Silence is just like, such quick reflexes. You are truly a savior. I'm just doing my job.
I want to walk over to Minimori and put my arm around her shoulder. It'd be alright?
Yeah, I, still getting used to these adventures. I'm just glad everyone's safe.
It seems that these adventures are getting crazier by the day.
I think the world has just always been this crazy. We're just the ones lucky enough to see it. You can sense that she's trying to convey sarcasm, but she's still just kind of calming her nerves down for a second after seeing the creature. Aldrich and Evelyn are conversing amongst themselves. It seems like Aldrich is actually showing Evelyn his stone that he uses for his magic, and they're kind of like going over something involving the gems. And you see that as Gray is seated, kind of nestled in his same spot next to the sail mast, you can see that green and black energy is now completely gone from him. But he just sits and looks out towards the open ocean.
I don't think I could have been blessed with better crewmen. Fuck that. Blessed with better friends.
Friend. You hear Gray kind of like... You see Gray turn towards you, and he just looks over towards you. Friends.
I don't know if you're questioning the word, or if you're questioning me calling you a friend.
He grabs you and gives you a tight bear hug. Friend.
Not again.
Friend. And he just holds you in a hug for a couple seconds before he lets you go. I work again.
But try to remember how small I am.
Hope for me. He points to himself. They're not too sure what he's referring to, but yes. Eventually he just nods his head to you and goes back looking out to the ocean.
Made off that island alive, shockingly.
You see now that the sunlight that was once there is now slowly shifting. Like, it seems like the sun is fast forwarding.
Oh, fuck you.
And it drops down over the horizon, and the stars slowly begin to appear. When the sunlight clears away, it seems as pitch black as midnight.
See, I'm glad, player-wise, I know what the fuck your other campaign's doing. Character-wise, it's just like... What?
Where?
Did any of you explain this?
Where's sun? You see the others like break away from their conversations and they're observing the sky, like seeing that it's completely nighttime out. What is going on? And like you see Evelyn turn to Aldrich. I've never seen this before. Nobody seems to be panicking, but it's just complete confusion.
Justified. It just turned midnight.
Well, I can pull out my constellation map now. And you see Yizem head over to the front of the boat, and he just goes back to navigating. Doesn't seem to be nothing of a concern. He's just like, well, that's his convenience, and starts working again. Do you think this is the darkness doing this? Referencing the fog.
That wouldn't make any sense. Didn't change our place, it just changed the time.
We went to another plane, right?
Yeah. As far as I can tell, we're still in the same plane. We didn't go anywhere. But there's no one that can control time.
Are you sure about that? And this isn't meant to be menacing, just like...
I know, I get it. It's Salem.
Nothing
Salem says is menacing. It's literal thing possible.
Yeah, just to make sure, because it was hard to it's hard to get that like gravelly voice down without it trying to be like, I'm going to kill you all, like something like that. It's like,
it's the problem. I have now hung out with this character so much that I understand what he means when he says things. And that's weird.
Thank you, son. I appreciate it.
You're now the white as a sheep, motherfucker.
Yeah. I need to get out more. Get that tan going.
I mean, With what we've seen, I'm scared to be wrong there. Unless this is that damn God thing that's happening.
When you mention the word God, Gray turns over to you. Him.
I don't know if you're saying.
Evelyn kind of goes over to Gray. It's like, we don't know. We don't know yet. There's just befuddlement. And after a couple minutes of you guys talking amongst yourselves, Yizem goes, well, I believe that would be dinner time then. Should we break into the rations? And he starts, like, busting out one of the cloth bags with the preserved fruits and sausages in it, and just starts, like,
That's
digging into it.
Honestly, a great idea.
Maybe there's some reading I could do. See if there's anything I can find in my logs.
You know. Definitely something worth looking into.
You guys all take out your rations and you're having a quiet meal. With the darkness that has overset you guys, Stalinth takes out one of the oil lamps, hangs it on the post on the mast, and kind of like gets a small tinderbox going to light a piece of cloth and lights up the lamp. You guys all sit in a circle again, quietly eating your food. What was that thing? I do not know. But they seem to be loyal to it.
I'm gonna go with unholy.
What did they think of it as? Well, it is possible that it could be some sort of otherworldly entity to them. Maybe a god of sorts.
Alright, let's start there. That got at least killable somehow. It took damage.
I mean, not a literal god, but a god in the perception of their society. Something that's powerful to a group that insignificant would be...
Wrong character cannot do that. Because it'd be like, well, technically all gods are just like perceived. But nope, this character does not believe that. This character's like, gods, don't fucking touch me. Those things will fuck you. No question asked. Sean sent me a video, and he said, hey, looky what I found for you, and I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't like the tone of that.
I'm very scared.
It would be like it's like a sliding scale. We are capable of being powerful beings, but gods to us are nigh immortal. To beings that insignificant, such as the bullywugs. Even something with no magic can still be a presence worth fearing and worth worshipping.
Well, one day that thing will fear us.
That's a lot of confidence from you, Captain.
I'm still pissed off that he wanted me to beg for freedom.
He asked you to beg. I don't remember that.
You were asleep!
Yes. Oh, yes, I was. Well, they have been on that island for they must have been a long time. They might have just lost some of their manners. Or their sanity.
That's putting it reasonably. I don't care what they lost, but they're losing that island.
I do not believe myself to be an evil person, but the Bullywogs are nothing worth saving. I am with you when we take that island.
I have a problem with this because one of my characters is a fucking bulldog. God damn it. Damn good one too.
Well, maybe if they meet them, he can break the stereotype.
Yeah, 'cause he's civil and he did learn himself some common.
I reckon he been flipping through one of them book learning things.
Thank you.
No problem.
At this point, I have no idea. It's sailing back. There's nothing else really to do. I have nothing else to talk about with these characters right now.
Fair enough. So, you all finish your meal. And I will say that we jump forward. Where'd it go? Son of a bitch. We jump forward a day. So it is.
Time just keeps fucking changing. What is it?
One thing that you find strange is that the nighttime seems to go on for
A day.
a few hours past what the normal like sunrise time would be. But the sun does finally rise, and you all kind of get your bearings as light is finally illuminating your way. And Salenth puts out the torch, the lamp, and you guys continue sailing on. The next 24 hours are pure daylight.
Holy fuck, dude.
You can start to see that Aldrich, Minimary, Evelyn, they all start getting irritable as their skin is now just essentially basting in the heat of the sun. You see they're starting to get signs of sunburn on them. And Aldrich is pulling out of his pack trying to like find a vial to kind of remedy this. Eventually he pulls out this what looks like a long glass vial, and it has this a thick red salve in it, and it has sort of like black specks riddled between it. He pulls out the cork and takes maybe like a gold piece sized little puddle of it, rubs it on his arm, on his neck, passes it around, and comes up to you. Would you like some, Captain?
Oh, this man. This is fucking bullshit.
Whatever this thing is, I don't think it's doing it on its own.
That sun is a stand!
I mean, what purpose would
My
it...
brain goes to memes way too often.
I mean, what means would this go about? You extend the nighttime and then make daytime last double? What's the purpose of that? Anyways.
To drive people insane.
I don't know. Anyways, here you go. And he just dumps the rest of the salve on your hand. It's just like, enjoy, Captain. He just whoosh, tosses the vial over the side of the ship and goes back to one of his books.
You think vials grow on trees, boy?
No, but they can easily be blown.
Oh my god.
And he says that. Like, you can sense from his actions that he's getting a little irritated with this amount of sunlight. He is a drow after all. Maybe we should pull out one of the canopies. I mean, it'll heat up the food, but it'll at least keep us from baking in here. What are you looking for?
Very specific image. I do agree with Aldrich. Actually, I can just ask Sean for this, and he'll have it. I can guarantee it.
What is it that you're looking for?
The fucking... That sun is a stand.
Oh.
It's a reference to JoJo.
Right.
And I want the picture.
So, you see Salem, Evelyn, you pretty much see everybody just walk over towards where the canopy is for the crates, and they start untying it and bringing it over. Salem is trying to like climb up onto the mast to kind of get a point over it and drape it over the back end of the ship. Roll perception.
14.
As you're directing everybody around this operation, you can feel the ship lurch a little bit to the left.
Why?
Like this
found
low
it.
growling. The sun is a stand. You hear the sort of like low growling from underneath the ship, and you start to see the water sort of turn clockwise. I'm sorry, counterclockwise. And the ship lurching left, it continues to lurch, and then it pulls a little bit deeper to the left. And the ship tilts a little bit. It pushes you over to the railing, and you now see that the water is beginning to form into a whirlpool.
Why? Why can there not be any peace? Ever.
You see the whirlpool expand out and grow more violent, and the ship continues tilting over to the left, and you guys are on the outmost reach of it. And now you feel that the ship dips down in the front a little bit as it's dropping into the epicenter of this swirling water. Need everyone to either make a Constitution check or a Dex check. Jesus.
I got a 23.
23. So, it looks like everyone in your crew except for Gray gets tossed over the boat. And as the whirlpool expands out and drives the ship down further, you can see them pass over, like, next to the ship and then back as they're, like, caught. They're getting, like, pulled faster and faster down into the epicenter.
What a fucking... Man, 20 out of me? What the fuck?
Well,
a goddamn 23.
Well, no. You stayed in the ship. And Gray stayed in the ship. Everybody else got knocked off.
God damn it.
What were you saying?
God.
The best crew.
Damn it. I'm glad the one that can't swim stayed on the boat at least.
Hey, he got like a 19 Constitution check, so he's just holding on for dear life. You can feel that with Gray like holding onto the boat, he's holding on, but his weight is sort of tipping the boat a little bit more to the left. So he's trying to like push himself into the center to try and even out.
I actually know what you want to do here. Everyone's in the water except for Gray. Gray's about to tip the boat over.
After a couple seconds, you see...
Just accept my fate here? Is this what I get for not fighting the giant frog god thing? I now must die to the water gods?
After a couple seconds, you see Yizam, a pillar of water, pushes out from the rip current and from the current and pushes him down onto the ship. Oh, jeez. That was rough.
Cool, can you do that for the rest of the crew, please?
He looks over and he sees the rest of them, like, hands up, trying to, like, pull themselves over the surface but get dragged down. It's just like, I can certainly try. And he dives back in. You can see... Let's find out. So, now you can actually see over you that the very rim of this whirlpool is now slowly getting farther and farther away from you. As these turns get faster and faster, you feel the pressure of these G-forces pressed against your body and almost push you down onto the deck.
At this point, I feel like you're just sending me to Atlantis. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna meet the fucking sea elves. And fucking you must talk to the king of the sea elves. Shoot the king of the sea elves, one.
Cause why not? Fuck it. So eventually Yizam pulls up Minimri, Evelyn, Aldrich,
I'm gonna punch you easy in the face. If you don't continue.
I tried to grab him. And you don't see Salenth anymore. Like, with it getting faster and faster and faster, you don't notice him anymore.
I'm losing rational thought.
Sorry.
I'm diving into the water.
All right. So, I think you know what I'm going to say to you. I'm sorry. It's just that's how the
Fucking
rules
nat
are.
20.
Oh, buddy. Bitch. Ooh.
I'm going to roll nothing but ones tomorrow.
So,
But it's fine.
you rush over, diving into the water. He's just like, Captain, don't! And he doesn't, like, you don't hear him finish his sentence. You dive in, and just the rush of water going past you deafens his voice. You look over for a glimpsing at the ship, and it just is at Mach 2, like, ripping around this whirlpool. Roll perception. At disadvantage.
$13.
So, trying to...
Hold it back.
I'm back after playing it. Well, hello.
I'm just losing my mind, don't worry.
Glad to see that you came. Yes, you came at a perfect time. Very short recap. They got off the island. They met this big frog creature that tried to attack them. Gray.
As we're getting off the island.
Gray was able to hold it off long enough for them to get off the island, and now they are currently being sucked into a Me Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Accurate. And now they're being sucked into a...
The ocean's
whirlpool.
giving us the big suck.
So, here, my question is, are you trying to... Because Salenth was behind you, are you trying to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Trying to fight the current.
Okay. So,
Haven't had any nerves.
pushing through, you can still, like, the water rushing past your face, like, opens your eyes a little bit, and it stings, yes, but you're able to keep them open long enough to get a good picture, and you can see a clawed hand, like trying to rip through the water, but it looks like he's about 30 feet down.
Submarine noises.
So, you push down, and you can feel that the current just, like, drags you about 10 feet, but you're able to fight enough where you get into the epicenter, and it's a little bit clearer now. You grab onto Salenth, and he, like, his body lurches as you grab onto him, but he sees it's you, and just, he can't speak, but he points out down into the ocean. And with the calm and with this epicenter creating a calm spot in the whirlpool, you can now see down. There are buildings on the ocean floor.
Because of course there are.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you see the ship hit the epicenter, and now instead of, like, riding this wall of water around in a circle, it just is spinning. Like, literally, like, axle in the middle, just spinning like a top.
Beyblade mode, activate.
What would you like to do?
Get to the Beyblade.
Roll athletics.
I want to stab you.
What would you rather roll?
Acrobatics.
It's not possible in the water. I'm sorry.
Make it possible. Okay, 13.
I can't. I'm not God.
My athletics is not good.
Did you say 13?
Yes.
So, with Salen's help, you guys are able to grab onto the boat, but you guys are on essentially a beam on the back end of the boat. Wait.
Oh, you know what else you missed? It turned to midnight randomly. Wait, acrobatics is possible. Yes, someone's fighting for me!
I'm saying it's impossible in a whirlpool.
Synchronized swimming.
Okay, I will give you that, but they are not acrobatically swimming in a whirlpool that's going at Mach 3. Alright.
Would swimming be more considered dexterity-based or strength-based?
According to the book, it is strength-based.
Hey, listen, we don't talk about the book. We don't talk about the book unless it helps me.
I honestly think it's more strength because there's a force that you're fighting. Also, your cam is
Oh, that's not just me. I literally did not say anything because it's been doing that on and off for me.
Yeah, I just gotta do the hand thing and I'm good. Thank you. So I consider it strength because the water itself is a force that you're technically fighting against. Like, you're in a medium, yes, but we're not acclimated to swimming naturally. So we're fighting against that force. I consider that a feat of strength to push through that at a higher than average capability. That's just me. Again, you can disagree. That's fine. That's just how I think.
I can disagree all damn day. It's not going to get me anywhere.
So
yeah, the other thing you missed is the crossover to beat all crossovers. Where the day turned to night instantly out of nowhere, and then it was day for a day.
So, you guys are held onto the back of the boat, but with the water that the back end is like pushing into, you're just grabbing onto it at this point. And slowly, the ship begins losing speed until it almost seems to be floating. But not in the water. In its own bubble.
Of course, yeah.
You can now see more clearly now that you are stationary. You are able to climb back up to the top of the boat.
Yes.
And the rest of the crew are just like held on. They're still anticipating that the boat's going to move again, but they start realizing where, like, what's happening, and they let go.
Salen, are you okay?
I'm alright. Thank you, Captain. He just coughs up a little bit of water, but he just has to catch his breath for a second. Minimori comes over and hugs you. Holy crap, are you okay? Evelyn comes over, is just like, Christ. Can we not have people almost dying anymore? Like, I would really appreciate that.
Trust me, I wish that was a possibility.
Well, what is it that we're seeing, Aldrich? And looking over at Aldrich, you see that he's observing the buildings down there now. And with a quiet voice, this is going to sound strange. But this is the Sea Elves' home.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
And that's where we're gonna cut it.
I knew it. I want to die. You know, how long was this exploration mission supposed to be?
However long it took you guys.
No, I mean, like, according to Ivy.
According to Ivy, so it was a 3-day trip there, maybe like half a day exploring, and then 3 days back.
Yeah, that's not happening. You're gonna be gone for another month, come back, it's like, oh, you won't believe the story I got for this time, Ivy. Woo! There's a giant frog god, there's a fucking every type of fruit. Oh, there's sea elves, we met them, they're fun.
Literally just, I love the idea of her, like, not like completely losing her sense, but just losing her poise and just slowly
any
going
composure,
into
all
any
in
composure.
God, just like, man, it was some great times.
She's just oh boy.
Fucking, I
Oh,
don't.
it's happening. It happened.
Here we go. I see the freeze on the stream now.
Hey, you pulled out your zoomies.
What a fucking pause! Oh, Jesus. That's
Yes.
great.
So, you're not sure how, but you have been brought into the land of the Sea Elves.
Why?
A society completely built upon the ocean floor.
Before we fully cut it, are any of them waiting there for us to get there? Descend all the way down?
There are... You can't see from there, like, specific people, but you feel the orb around you move, and it is leading you down there, where there are now seeing kind of like the street level of this city. You can now see that there are a grouping of people. There are a grouping of people waiting at a small patch.
Oh, God. What did you clip?
The pause.
That's awesome.
It's a beautiful clip.
If that freeze up doesn't define exactly how I feel about this damn situation right now. That's great. That's fantastic. I love it.
So yes, it looks like where you're being taken, there are people waiting for you.
Cool. Okay, great. Why? We were doing nothing. We did nothing. We've done nothing. They're pissed off because I helped the fish. God damn it! I'm gonna cry.
Hey, at least no one died.
You tried. You son of a bitch.
I didn't know how far you were going to take it. I'm glad I know your new limit.
Fucking, not another one, god damn it. What if I can't help it?
All right. Well, The King Rises, episode 7 of Adventures on the Infinite Sea has come to an end. Thank you, anybody who is either here in the stream right now, Fallen, thank you for being here and hanging out. Anybody who watches the VOD, if you are here checking out the series as we go along, thank you for being here and giving us a watch. Hope we entertain you guys. Yeet. So,
who's emo? I need that. I need ET emotes in my life.
Oh, it's Taylor's. Thank you, Fall.
I need more money. Is appreciated.
So that's gonna do it for us. We have a session tomorrow. Fallen's actually in it, and I forgot everybody's names. Brain fart of the century. Taylor 736 is there. Doc Lewis is there. The Real Tick is there. Couple other friends are there. And we have our sessions over on the Real Tick's channel. That's down there in the panels, if you want to check that out. We have those on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And we have these...
7 p.m. what time?
7 p.m. Eastern time.
There you go.
Yes. Oh, yes. Forgot. Geordi is still in Central Time. So, me, Nick, Taylor. Flamingo. Yep. Can't forget Flamingo. Anime. I am in it as well. Hi. Yes, it's not on my channel, but I do also DM that game. So, if you like how I run these games, you want to check out more of what we're doing, head over there on Tuesdays. And this game runs every Monday at 5:30 Eastern. So next week you can come check out the next installments. Geordi, you have some things that you do. Plug your shit.
Yeah. I post on YouTube. One video every day, minus weekends. I don't post on weekends. That's a day to either me record or edit, or just to chill out. Otherwise, yeah, check me out on YouTube, Retro Tendo. I do specifically gaming. I really don't do much else than that. Right now, I'm just recording games I enjoy playing, so if you guys have any... If anybody checks me out, you have suggestions for games I want to play, leave them in comments and videos, and I'll play. Link? I can get a link real quick, yeah.
I've been meaning to put something down in the panels as well, so I've got to check that out.
I can get out of this stupid studio. I forgot my URL is not my name in the channel thing. It's just a bunch of letters.
There you go. That is like... I should have that in the VODs too. So yes, in the VODs, also in the description, that's going to be where his link is going to be. So go down there,
Yay.
Check him out. Support the people, Fallen. Love it. And I would also love to have something run on this channel for myself as a player, where someone else is Dungeon Master. So I'm in the process of getting that set up, but get about and making a command. You're gonna have to show me some of that stuff with the bots, because I am not fluent in bots or the commands for Twitch. So if that's something you can show me, or somebody can show me, that'd be appreciated. But yeah, that'd be cool to have, but there's nothing solidified yet. It's kind of a thought as of right now.
Should get one of Joe's many campaign ideas on here.
That would be cool. If I can figure out how to get the overlay, if I can make a template for, and my computer can actually run everyone's cameras, that'd be awesome.
You're gonna have to upgrade your PC a bit.
Yeah, I've got to figure that out.
Make it a true blue streaming PC.
That would be fantastic. Hey, there's a link to donate if you want if you want me to get a better PC.
Has anybody done a donation yet? Since you've added the thing?
Doc donated the 50.
The GIF.
Oh, the GIF. I don't think so, no. Yeah, I did change that around.
Great.
If you want to see it, you gotta go down there. You gotta do that stuff. No, I'm kidding. Nothing. I don't want to feel like there's an obligation or a pressure for people to do that stuff. It honestly is just something that from this point on would help me to do these at a higher quality or do these more frequently or things like that. So it's always appreciated, and I love the support, but it is absolutely not a necessity to do. But I would love to upgrade my PC, so that's something I'm going to work on next. But yes, Adventures on the Infinite Sea. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week on the next adventure. Bye-bye. Head to get food. Hope you don't die.
I need to do the same. I'm fucking starving.
Have a good one, guys.